everybody. Today I'm going to show you my favorite recipe for doing Kongs, puppy snails, which is great for little puppies. And these we use in the bathtub when we give dogs baths, and they can lick out whatever's in here. I've tried all different kinds of stuffing for Kongs and different stuffed things, but I really like this the best because I love that everything is natural. I don't have to worry about giving it to all my dogs or to little puppies. And that's not to say that there aren't some good recipes out there, but I really don't like to give my dogs sugar and salt and things like that. So I've come up with this little recipe that I love, and it's really fun to make, and the dogs just go crazy for it. So what I start off with is approximately 2 ounces of their food, and I put it in a container for mixing. Then for each Kong that I stuff, I use 2 of these treats, okay? And I'm going to put an extra one in because I'm going to do a couple of these other things in here, okay? And then I take some of this freeze-dried beef liver, and it smells just like beef liver. So when you make this formula, if you don't like the smell of beef, don't use anything like that because it is going to smell like beef, okay? Then this is actually the best part of the whole thing. This is Paw Pairings by Portree, which is just amazing. It's a superfood. You can give your cats and dogs as much as you want of this without having to worry about stomach upset. And they just go crazy for the taste. It's also good for cats. And everything that is in this formula, see, brand new. Everything that's in this formula is okay for your cats as well. So if you want to give your cat some of this, I don't know if your cat will enjoy frozen stuff, but you can throw it on their food as a little treat. So the Paw Pairings, I actually don't measure. I just go like this and say, ooh, that's a little bit, I'd like that much. So that's what I do. So these are the ingredients, and of course I'm going to use water to hydrate it. So then I just take this in I actually have a container. This is for my dog stuff, so it's actually just for dogs. And there really isn't anything that isn't there you can eat, but I like having a separate container for dogs, or you can bleach it or whatever you want to do. So I'm going to turn on my mixer. Hold your ears because it's going to be loud. If you don't have a Vitamix, and not everybody does, you can do everything except for these hard pieces of liver in a regular blender. So everything you put in, these treats, your Paw Pairings, and your dog food will grind in a regular blender. So you don't have to worry about that. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your ground up recipe and you're going to put it in a bowl. And then the ideal thing is to make a fairly thick paste so that when you put it in here, it doesn't get all over your freezer when you lay them down to be frozen. I do feed everything frozen because the idea of your Kong is to entertain your dog for a period of time. If you just put it in when it's wet, they're going to eat it real fast. So then I'm just going to take my recipe here, and it's hard to tell you how much water to use, but if you look at what I'm doing, I pour in a little water at a time, okay? And then I just keep mixing, and I don't want it too thick, so oops, might be too much. I made it a little too thin, but we can deal with it. So I mix it up. If you actually make it too thin like this, if you leave it for about 5 minutes, it gets thicker, and then you can do it. But I'll clean up my own mess. So what I would do with this is I would take this and I just pour it in here. And this is for puppies because otherwise big dogs will eat all this. But if you have little puppies, this is so great for them because it has little spaces in it, as you can see. And it's a great puppy toy. I love it. It's my favorite. And then I freeze it and give it to them, and the puppies take a long time to lick it and take it out. So that's one thing. This is for your bathtub, or some people use it on a grooming table. So you just stick it on wherever you want to go. And I like to stuff it, okay? Because I like to stuff it with something healthy because I don't like to give my dogs processed cheese or peanut butter and things like that because I don't think it's that healthy for them, although people do, and that's fine too. So what I will do is I will stuff this and I'll clean it up. I'll show you. I'll just take a paper towel and make it look pretty, okay? And I'll get a paper towel and show you, and I just wipe off, sorry. Here's my paper towels. I'll just take a damp paper towel, and then I just go like this and wipe off the edges, just so it looks nice. And then I'll stick it in the freezer, and and then that's frozen for baths or whatever. Then my favorite thing, of course, and everybody else's, is the Kong. So I just take the Kong, I cover the hole on the bottom, just in case it's too loose, and I stick it in there. And I want to make sure they get plenty of this, so I make sure I stuff it in. And then I fill up my Kong. There it is. I put it in the freezer like this because it's not going to run because it's thick. And we have a great stuffed Kong and toys for them. So if anyone has any questions or wants to know what I use, or I do switch different kinds of treats and different kinds of, instead of the beef liver, you can use something else or just use extra treats. I use different flavor pairings, and that makes it really interesting. So hope everybody enjoys this. If you have any questions or you want to know about other different recipes, just give us a call.